Washington is Joe Biden's a little creepy.
I love those barrettes in her hair, man. I tell you what, and look at her. She looks like she's 19 years old, sitting there with her, like a little lady with her legs crossed.
And confidence. I've got a lot of thanks to give out here.
And I want to see these beautiful young ladies. I want to see them dancing when they're 4 years older, too. And I was just alone. Now, the very important thing I told my daughter and granddaughters, no serious guys in the 30s.
Joe Biden actually had to apologize during the last campaign for, let's just say, evading women's space.
I've always tried to make a human connection. That's my responsibility, I think. I shake hands, I hug people, I grab men and women by the shoulders and say, you can do this. And social norms have begun to change, they've shifted, and the boundaries of protecting personal space have been reset. And I get it.
He doesn't get it. He hasn't learned a thing since the apology. Here he is last night with Eva Longoria, getting away with as much as he could.
Thank you, thank you.
Oh, the old hand move. Just a regular day in the office for Biden. You got trans flasher at pride parties, Juneteenth hoedowns, and movie night with Eva Longoria. Is Joe Biden ever going to hit the campaign trail? It's been 2 months since he announced. Now we're hearing he may have a campaign event tomorrow. He warmed up in Connecticut today and went off teleprompter and blamed the fentanyl crisis on Americans selling Mexicans guns. Listen.
You know what I get when we're talking about the fentanyl at the border and all that? I speak with the president of Mexico. Will you stop sending guns to us? We are sending dangerous weapons, particularly assault weapons, to Mexico. To Mexico. They're asking us, please stop it. Cut it off at the border.
The Obama-Biden administration literally got caught selling Mexico guns. It was called Fast and Furious. Eric Holder was held in contempt of Congress for covering it up. But that tells you how brilliant Joe Biden really is. His plan to stop fentanyl is to crack down on the Second Amendment. And then Biden went full corn pop.
And in most cities, down in Philadelphia and New York, areas I know well, like up here, you'd see a truck pull to the curb and selling weapons, selling guns, selling AR-15, selling weapons.
Is Joe Biden talking about stuff he saw in the movies? When has Joe Biden ever seen anyone selling AR-15s from the back of a truck in broad daylight in Philly or New York? Last week, it was gays getting kicked out of restaurants. Now it's rifle sales at the back of pickup trucks. But Biden was on a roll, and he started playing the hits.
That's the truth. Now, don't make a lie. As that scene in the John Wayne movie, don't make me a dog-faced lion pony soldier.
And then he left us with this.
All right. God save the Queen, man.
Queen's dead, Joe. You went to her funeral, and you're not in Britain. You're in Connecticut. This is why Joe Biden's not allowed to campaign. Even if Joe Biden wanted to campaign, his handlers wouldn't let him. President Joe Biden doesn't really have much of a say in the Biden presidency.
President Biden came out publicly and said that he expected to talk to President Xi soon, in his words, and that they were going to get to the bottom of this. Well, what we're learning is that behind the scenes, what happened is the president wanted to talk to President Xi, and his aides made the case that it wasn't the time for that, that a phone call between the two leaders was not the thing to do. The president was essentially talked out of doing what he thought was potentially strategically the thing to do, which